to find who did this.
There are ways to protect ourselves.
I encourage everyone not to overreact here.
How bad is this?
It's 100% lethal. We can't afford to waste time.
What if the anthrax killer's one of us?
Daniel, Tony, good morning. Jeff in Las Vegas.
Hey, Jeff.
Thanks for the background. It's team spirit.
My pleasure. Well, thank you for joining me today to talk about the Hot Zone Anthrax on NatGeo and Hulu. Daniel, this season is set shortly after 9/11 attack, and the anthrax letters are targeting journalists and politicians all over the country, and you play an FBI agent. How close to the facts does this series play?
I was pretty impressed to see how much of the major things were historically accurate. The entire investigation took place over 6 or 7 years. So there was obviously a lot that had to get left out. But what was really, I think, important for the sake of our series, everything that was important, the major milestones of the investigation are there.
You play a microbiologist, and the series, it really shows scientists as heroes of today, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. My character, Bruce Ivins, who was a real person and lead anthrax investigator, researcher for the Defense Department, is revealed in the story to be a very complicated guy who got embroiled in this investigation and had some struggles that may derailed his life. But it does, focus on science as the ultimate truth teller of what became a very complicated, deceptive investigation. I remember vividly the anthrax attacks. I live outside of New York City. And, 3 weeks after 9/11, these letters were mailed to Congress and to the major media outlets, and people were dying from this anthrax powder that had been laced into these letters. So, we put Cipro, the antibiotic that, is the antidote to anthrax poisoning, in our kids' backpacks at school. We didn't open our mail for a month, but I knew nothing about the ongoing investigation. It's sort of like many news items faded from, the headlines. And, but it went on for 6, almost 7 years. And it's an extraordinary story, a true life story, true crime story that I just wasn't aware of.
And Daniel, what were the challenges of wearing a sealed body biosafety suit? It just looked like, how do you act in something? It looked like the real deal.
That's a very good question. I found myself asking the same thing. No, it was challenging. Both Tony and I were in them, and you're absolutely right when you say that they were the real deal. I mean, they were authentic, and as a result, your whole face is covered, and it's difficult to move. It's pretty hot in there. But this is what the real scientists have to go through, and what the real investigators went through. So I appreciated the authenticity.
I was going to say, Tony, I would have claustrophobia 30 seconds into that suit. So how did you survive?
I'm very grateful we didn't have to wear them too much. It was only a handful of scenes where we were in these biohazard suits. I think that in the first season of the Hot Zone, which was about the Ebola crisis, Juliana Margulies had to wear that thing a lot. So I felt badly for her. It's very difficult. It's kind of heavy. It's, as you mentioned, it's hard to act in, but like Daniel said, it was authentic. So that was, I too was grateful for that.
And Daniel, this is a perfect time to tell this story, but you were filming under strict COVID protocols during the pandemic. How difficult was it making this series?
I won't lie, it was challenging. It really was. Canada, where we were shooting, took its lockdown very seriously, and there was no retail, no restaurants, no anything open during the time that we were shooting. And it was also incredibly cold. So we didn't really have the outlet of being outside if we couldn't be in a store or, in a restaurant. And so in a lot of ways, it felt like we were paralleling the story of what was going on during Anthrax. There were some very dedicated people who were 100% devoted to finding who was behind these attacks. And, as a character, or as an actor, I felt that I was kind of doing the same thing, because I would go to set and straight home from work and work more on the next day's work. And then I would go to set again. So there was dedication that I didn't expect.
Daniel, I love you in Hawaii Five-0. I had to tell you that. Plus, I'm so excited for Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, you're on fire. So congratulations on that.
I see the pun that you made there. Thank you. It was, it's been a nice run. And, this show in particular is a project that I'm really happy to be a part of.
And Tony, thank you for joining me today. I just want to say how fantastic you were in King Richard too. I saw it over the weekend and just a brilliant performance.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's a wonderful film. I'm really glad people are seeing it.
Well, gentlemen, congratulations on a great series. So thrilling. And thank you so much for joining me today. And let's talk again soon.
Great.
Sounds good.